She's never been that pushy kind of a stage mother.
Okay, then I go and bring father.
Bring Tat out here. You can sit right over there and see. Or you can sit in the shade. See? Right over there.
Oh, you ready? Tell the father.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Isn't she cute?
Something that you didn't see, but I just witnessed, was Anne greeting her mother. That is so nice that the two of you are that close.
Oh, we are very close, and it's very important for me, I think, to keep, and I think for anybody, to keep the family unit very strong, because when all else falls apart, God forbid, but if all else should fall apart, that's something that should stay together.
Does that come from the fact that I'm reading about your mother and father? They escaped the Soviet occupation of Lithuania on bicycles, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
So did they instill this strong sense of tradition and family in you, do you think, Anne?
Yeah, they did. My mother and father, my father was a captain in the Lithuanian Air Force, and they saw the earmarks of the Soviet occupation. They felt that it was going to be permanent, whereas many other people in the country didn't feel that way. They didn't share that kind of an opinion. And they felt that because they had once been occupied by the Germans, and they also had this temporary period of independence, that they were going to then enjoy it once again. My parents didn't see that. And so they left the country on 2 bikes, whatever they had on their back, and they put my brother, who was very young then, inside of the basket in the front, and left. They consequently, after that, got a sponsor from the United States and moved to the United States, where I was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
I know, my neck of the woods.
Right.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to start over. You forgot to put your microphone on.
Can I bring you?
Oh, no, you can't give me another 5.
Looky what's there!
Start from the top again, since this happened. We'll start from the top.
Daddy,
Yeah, good.
Daddy. This is, now you get to witness another one. Hi, Daddy.
For the second time, you didn't witness.
And once again, you didn't witness. No.
I just saw Anne greet her parents as they arrived here on the set, and it's very warm and nice to know that someone in your business, your position, with your success, can still be so close to your family.
Thank you. I think that it's very important to keep that family very strong, the unit very strong, because when all else falls apart, God forbid, but should it fall apart, you always have that family. And then, of course, also in the future, when you're left alone, you have good memories, and that's very important.
How lucky you are, though, Anne, to have them alive, seeing your success. They must be so proud.
I'm so happy, because my mother always wanted to be an actress, you know. And when the time came, when I was around 4 years old, they had me do a little Lithuanian function where all the little Lithuanian kids were asked to do either some poetry or sing a song. And my mother noticed that I could sing a song, and then they couldn't take me off. They had to come and pick me up with the little braids and take me off. So my mother went, "We go to Hollywood." And that's exactly what happened. She picked up everybody, uprooted them, which my father didn't mind, because he heard that the California weather was great. So we went to Hollywood, and that's how it really started.
Now, that was from Cambridge, Massachusetts.
From Cambridge, Massachusetts.
And they had arrived there after leaving Lithuania because of the Soviet occupation, right?
Yeah. My father had been a captain in the Lithuanian Air Force, and he and my mother both saw the earmarks of the Soviet occupation as being permanent as opposed to only a temporary condition. So they got on 2 bikes, bid farewell to their families, asking them to come along with, but nobody decided to. They felt that the rest of the family felt that they had once been occupied by Germany, and then they went into a period of independence, so this was exactly what was going to happen again, and the parents didn't feel that way. So they left, they fled. They put my brother in the basket in front, whatever they were wearing and whatever staples they needed to have, and they fled. And because of my mother's multilingual talents, they were able to get across the borders and finally got a United States sponsor, and were able to come to Cambridge, Massachusetts.
It is so hard to envision that with this freedom all around us, that could even happen.
People tend to take it for granted, and I can understand why, because it's here. They never have to worry about it. But when you're brought up in a family that really, really overtly appreciates it, you know what a fabulous country this is, and you appreciate everything it has to offer. This was the American dream for my family, to see their daughter put her feet firmly on the ground after so many years of trying and make good. Really make good.
Your talents are so diversified because you are a singer, dancer, actress. Is that a plus or a minus? I mean, do you miss not being able to use the singing on It's a Living?
Yeah, I do. I really do. Sometimes I envy Paul Kreppel because he sits at the piano, you know, and does, but it's, I don't envy it too much because I know that whenever we have a vacation period or whenever I go and do a talk show, that is when I get to use those talents most often.
Recently, what was the show where you did a stand-in for Dolly Parton, did 9 to 5?
Oh, that was the People's Choice Awards, and what happened there was, I think what happened was that there was a misunderstanding. It was very dramatic, and I'll take it. I'll take it. It was wonderful. That I was supposedly the stand-in or came in at the last moment. The fact of the matter was I was rehearsed for it. Dolly was supposed to be there and sit at the table that I was supposed to come and sit at. And then I was supposed to take a double take where I ended up and give her a big hug and kiss, which I really wanted to do. Unfortunately, she was taken ill. And that's, I think, where the misunderstanding came in. But it was wonderful to do that 9 to 5. I love that number.
Something I have to ask you. Your recent marriage, 1976?
1977, 78.
To a Chicago police sergeant.
Yes. Isn't that exciting?
It is exciting, but in reading about that, I mean, I found here you are so glamorous, and you meet a policeman and fall in love. And now he's your manager. Is that...
It's true. What happened was, I think I really got tired at about the age of 27 of not having that male support to come back home to. And I was ready to get married, and I knew that traveling was a very lonely existence. So I wanted to, and I met a man who, in my estimation, obviously was macho, although macho was not all important to me. I saw a sensitive side to him as well. And we became friends first, before we ever became romantically involved. 2 minutes later, we became, no, and then afterwards, because out of necessity, we at the time could not afford to get a publicist. We couldn't afford to get a manager per se. Of course, nobody was really interested because they didn't know. So he took on all of these things out of necessity. So it wasn't because I said, okay, we're husband and wife and it's vogue now to be manager and client, go ahead and do it. It was because he made some very fine decisions out of, I think I can attribute that to his previous occupation. He was in an administrative position. He had to make very quick choices and read people, and I think that that's what a manager has to do. But now that we've come to a certain level in the career, Andy has already said that I took you just so far, and we both, fought for it so far. Now we got to give it to the hands of somebody who really knows the ropes. So now we're giving it to the hands of Joyce Selznick from the Selznick family in Hollywood.
Nice.
And who would know more about show business than she would?
Oh, well, good luck to you, Ann, with everything. Your marriage, your career. It's terrific.
Thank you.
It's a Living on ABC.
And my family over
And your
here.
family, yeah. Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.